If you want to make money selling AI agents and AI automations to businesses in 2026, you absolutely need to watch this video till the end. And the reason I say it is because in this video, I'm gonna give you everything I know and everything I used to sign my first 2 to 3 AI agency clients. I'm gonna give you my own experience, things you've probably never seen because they were my mistakes and my experience, and you can still use this knowledge in 2026 to actually sell AI agents to businesses. It is still relevant. And even though I started with no technical experience, I didn't know how to code, I didn't knew back then what even AI was, I was able to sign my first AI agency client. And as you see by the length of this video, it's quite long, so let me give you a full roadmap of everything that we're gonna cover in this video. First of all, I'm gonna lay down all the fundamentals that you need to understand in order to sell AI agents to businesses. Then I'm gonna show you how you can pick an AI agent or an AI automation that you're gonna sell to those businesses. Then I'm gonna show you how you can actually go about building that AI automation or an AI agent. Then I'm gonna show you how you can find your first AI automation agency client for that service. And then I'm gonna show you how you can deliver this AI automation or an AI agent to your first AI agency client. So we're gonna cover a ton of valuable information in this video. However, I must warn you, because even though this guide will be full of all the mistakes I've made, everything I've learned, and a ton of value, it will be long, it will be boring, and it will be unedited. So if you will not be able to sit through this video till the end and learn it, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's going to be very hard for you to run your own AI agency if you cannot even focus. But if you're ready to start the guide, if you're ready to stick through the video and focus, let's just start, because let me tell you, this guide took me a while to record, but it's a very, very valuable information for people that want to sell AI agents. So let's just start the video.
All right, so now that we have covered the intro and you expect very unedited video, very boring video, very raw type of content, and you expect for your attention span to be heavily tested in this video, let me tell you what you can expect, because before you dedicate your time that I really respect to this video, I want you to clearly know what you can expect from this video and what you will learn. So I'm going to quickly cover everything we're going to go over in this video. And once again, expectation after the intro that was edited, this video is going to be boring. This video is not going to be, funny. There is no like any perhaps I need to play like a Subway Surfers or like a GTA like gameplay where those like cars are dropping through this I don't know how you even call it, like you know what I'm talking about, the gaming videos. Perhaps it needs to play in the background somewhere, but unfortunately, no, seriously, that's not going to happen. So you need to really focus. So what we were going to focus on, first of all, I'm going to give you a very like principled understanding on how to actually start, and how do you start, where do you start. So if you want to have like some better understanding, even if you already sell AI agents and you already have an AI agency, I think it's going to help you. But if you're a complete beginner, it's also going to help you, because I'm going to lay down some fundamental, most important things in running an AI agency, selling AI agents. So how, like, where to start, how to start, and overall how you can actually do it. And also, then we were going to move to what AI automations / AI agents will we sell. So I'm going to give you, like, because if you don't know what to sell, if you don't know how to sell those AI agents, but if you have a proven offer or you're selling custom projects, it's still going to help you, because I'm going to give you a very like a great process of discovering what is the best the type of AI agents or an AI automation to sell to the market, and sell to people to make the most money, keep the highest profit margins, and actually just make the most money and make it the business life as easy as it can be. So we are going to cover some most important principles, then how to actually discover what to sell and how to craft your offer. Then I'm going to show you a very high level strategy as to how you can actually build those AI agents and automations. And you've probably never seen it, because there's a lot of technical tutorials, there is a lot of technical content, but I can assure you that it is very unlikely that you have seen this approach. It's a very creative approach that I just personally came up with as I was building my own AI agents and automations for clients with my business partner. So it's a very great strategy that's going to really help you. Then we can go to how we can actually find your first clients or your other clients. So honestly, even if you already have a couple of clients, this strategy still will help you in acquiring AI agency clients. So even if you're starting out, even if you're actually, you started to roll the ball with your AI agency and the snowball is starting to roll, it's still going to help you. So I'm going to tell you how to find clients, how I found my clients, and how you can reach out to people, and then how you can actually deliver to your first client. And now, honestly, without sounding arrogant, this part is probably the most like ignored part in most of the agencies. And it's not even specific to all the AI agencies and SMMA agencies and others agencies. So this part, honestly, I think even if you're running a very great agency and you have a lot of clients, maybe you hired some developers, it's still going to help you. Like this process and feedback on how I fucked up on a lot of projects that I did with my business partner, it's going to really help you. So if you want to improve your delivery, if you want your clients to be happier, this part number 5, like on how to actually deliver and make your clients happy, is going to be heavily, heavily important for any stage of agency. I mean, look, okay, if you're running a 7, 8 figure agency, you probably already nailed it. But if you're in this like, beginner slash starting stage where you don't need to make like, I don't know, 10, 20K, then this is going to really help you. So honestly, the last part, because I want to have a great retention on the video for it to go viral. No, seriously, it's a linear process, right? You need to understand the first step to understand the second, the third to understand the second, to understand the third, and on and on. But the last part, very important. Honestly, a lot of people should watch it, even the people that are already established agency owners. So this is what you can expect. And as you see, this is the type of content you're going to see. Me talking to the camera, no music, no edits, no nothing, pure value, pure education, and things that I've made and the mistakes I've made. So if you're ready for this type of content, if you have the attention span, you're going to benefit heavily. I put a lot of work into this guide. So right now, let's rock and roll and let's just start. So the part 1 of the guide that you're watching right now, as we've just covered, is going to be how do we start. Obviously, this guide is going to be recorded by me throughout many days, so it's going to be a lot of work, but you're going to benefit at the end of this work because you will have a very clearly laid down plan that I have personally followed to sign a couple of my first AI agency clients. So I decided that, as said at the beginning of the guide, we'll first cover how do you start. So I'm going to lay down some basic understanding for you that will just help you to navigate the AI agency world and where you have to go, what you have to do, and how you can just navigate the market. And then obviously we're going to cover what automations are you going to sell. Honestly, after understanding what I'm just going to share with you in this part of the guide, you will be able to figure it out the rest probably by yourself. So then we're going to cover what do we sell, who do we sell it to, how do we get our first client, and how then you can actually deliver to that client. And it's all based on my experience and how I was able to sign my first AI agency client, what I understood before I actually signed the first client, and then how I actually delivered. And yeah, let's just start. So part 1, how do we start? So first of all, let's just lay down the first basic understanding of AI automation, like as a topic. Look, the thing is, it's all like, I'm gonna make it very, very simple. It's all about you approaching some sort of a business or or if you want to work B2C, so I would say customer, right? And you want to sell them AI. And for that, you just want to benefit. You just want monetary, just recompensation for your automation work. That's like a very basic principle understanding. You just want to learn some sort of AI or hire people that know how to deliver AI, go to some sort of a business or some sort of a customer, just provide them with AI or some sort of AI automation, and then make money from it, right? This is a very basic understanding that I think we just have to lay down for further reasonings and further parts of this tutorial and guide on everything I know about, just selling AI to businesses. So look, after this laid down, we need to understand one thing. In business, as you probably know, there are, I'm just going to draw a box, and there are things called markets. So every single industry, no matter where you go, will have a market, and that market is going to be full of 3 most important things for us to cover in this video. First thing is going to be I'm drawing people, but they can also represent businesses, and they represent customers. But on the other hand, behind businesses are just people anyway. So the market will have people, right, in the market. The market will also have what we want, which is money. So which is what I'm going to cover in just a second on where you should go in terms of your agency, right? I mean, that's at least what I did. So look, the market will have money, right? It will have purchase, which is called purchasing power. And the most important thing is also that the market will have problems. So I will just type P. as a problem. So those obviously the concept of a market from economical financial perspective is way more complicated than what I'm just doing, but I'm oversimplifying to give you only what you need and not like only the information that you need and that is required to do something. So obviously the market which we will go after is a group of people that have money. I mean, likely they have some purchasing power and they have problems. So honestly, the market could be, gym owners, let's say. That would be a market. You have people that are in the thing is about the market which you want to target, which I'm going to cover in just a second. We need to first pick a market that is like we need to pick one market because the thing is, as you're going to be approaching your market with a solution, the more people you work with, the more confidence you will inspire in further customers if you only have been working with the one type of client, which is one market. You will have better like pretty much skill and experience on delivering this type of automations, and you'll be also perceived as way more professional, so you'll be able to charge higher prices. So in order for us to even start the AI journey, and this is how I did it, you need to pick a market, and there are just couple of traits of the market. First of all, I would honestly advise you to go for some sort of B2B approach. I mean, look, I know that you can make money B2C. Obviously, you can. In my experience, it's just easier to go B2B. And obviously, there are different type of businesses, but you can go for small to medium sized businesses, and go to them as a market. So I would just advise small to medium sized business. That's what I did. And then you would likely pick one sort of a market. So let's say that could be gym owners. Let's say if I'm going to write gyms, or I don't know. Let's say that could be. Let's say I don't know what a market can be. Let's say car mechanics. I'm gonna write just mechanics. So like pretty much a market of B2B businesses that has yeah. And let's just move to another point. So you pick a market, B2B, small to medium sized businesses. That can be like any other type of a business. And the other thing we want them to have is in the English speaking markets, we want to have at least 40,000 businesses. I mean, 40, 30, 35, 40, 45,000 businesses is a likely number because that will just allow us to target that market and actually properly go after it, and just, have some sort of client, like a pool of clients prospects that we can hopefully convert to clients. And another thing that is important for the market to have, because obviously you want to make money, is for them to have purchasing power. So they need to have some sort of money that they are willing and they can invest into AI. And another thing, the most important part that they need to have, that the market we're going to go after is going to be a problem. So if our market is likely B2B and there's over 40,000 businesses and they have purchasing power and then they have a problem, then this is the market that we can go after and we can actually go and target with our AI automation services. So from this market, if we can clearly see that they are a B2B market, and again, you can go B2C, you can go, for example, you can go and target lawyers or some high earning B2C market, but I would just go over B2B. And they have enough businesses, they have purchasing power, so they are not completely broke, and they also have problems that you can solve with AI, then we can go further. Because look, the thing with just markets is that if this is you and you just want to approach this market, right? And as a result of you working with this market, you want them to give you money, so you can just profit economically and just monetarily from that market. The thing is, they will not just give you money, right? I mean, listen. You can become a criminal, and you can steal money from the market and probably end up in jail. You can do it. I mean, I would strongly, strongly, strongly disencourage you to do that. It's just horrible. Do not do unethical things to make money. However, if you are like me and like probably most of the people that watch my content, you want to do it ethically. And by ethically, I mean you want to provide way more value. So you're pretty much giving them more money, not necessarily in like a monetary term. Like you don't give them like $10,000 and they give you $5,000 back, $5,000 back, because obviously that would make 0 sense. But you're just giving them value that is worth more than the money they are giving you. And that is a fair ethical transaction that I would strongly encourage everyone to do. So in order to gain that money, you need to go after this market, and from that market, you need to sort of like extract. Imagine this concept of the market. You have to extract two things. You have to, okay, that will sound weird, but you have to extract the human, so to speak. I'm going to explain what I mean in just a second, and a problem. So in order, what I say, extract the human, you need to understand your market. This is one of the most important things. You need to understand the humans you're going after. You need to understand what they care about, what they don't like, what they like. The more you understand your market, the easier it will be further to build products, build teams around delivering their products, do marketing. So just understand the human in the market, and the most important thing is to isolate the problem that they have that you can solve with AI. And as a result of that transaction, people will give you money, right? This is a very, very basic understanding, very basic one-on-one economics. So look, the thing is, you need to pick the market, understand the human in the market, understand the problem in the market, and obviously I'm going to go. We're in a further part of this tutorial. We're going to get more in depth on how we can actually go and isolate the problem. And as a result of that, you will obviously gain money from the market. So we obviously start with the market. This is the most important thing. You pick the niche, which is niche or a market, B2B. 40,000 businesses, they have purchasing power, they probably have some problem. I mean, you don't even need to know if they have a problem. You don't know if they have a problem yet, but what I can tell you is probably they do. Most of the markets have some sort of problem. So if they're a B2B market, again, this is just my, you know, personal preference, but you can work BTC. Obviously, they have enough businesses, they have purchasing power, they will likely have some problems. So this is laying up the foundations for our AI agency business, because obviously, unless your business is thriving, you're just going to be operating on value that you're not going to last long term. And obviously, the businesses that are providing the most value to the market and can communicate that value the most to the market will just win in the long term. So this is pretty much what we start. We start with the market. And after you have picked your market, it is going to be, I'm going to right now draw a very high helicopter picture of what we're going to cover in this entire tutorial. But obviously, let's say right now we have picked a market. You have picked a market that has a lot of businesses, that speaks English, that has some sort of purchasing power, and there is a high likelihood that there's going to be there's going to be some sort of a need for AI or a problem that AI can solve. And now a lot of people are wondering, okay, how do I pick the market? Now, in my opinion, the best strategy is to pick the market with an advantage, right? If you know a market, if you know people in the market, if you have some experience in the market, this is the best market you can go after. Now, there is a lot of people that are claiming that in order to be successful in a business, you need to like the market and you need to be passionate about the market. Perhaps I'm wrong, but I personally believe, and again, I'm just sharing what I do. Perhaps I'm wrong, but in my opinion, you don't necessarily need to be passionate, so to speak, about the market. You need to be able to competently deliver products to people. And in my experience, it doesn't really matter what they do. It all matters about, it's all about the people that you're working with. So the thing is, I have personally worked with people who are in such boring industries that no one will want to listen about that. Like, it's just very, very boring industries. But those people were so amazing human beings that I literally wanted to work. So my hypothesis is that it doesn't really matter who your client, like what is the type of business that your client is operating. It all matters about the type of people that you work with. It's all about people, in my opinion. And obviously, reasoning from that statement, we can, just come down to a conclusion that every single market will have great clients and nightmare clients. So it doesn't really matter. So pick the market in which you have an advantage, where you know more about the market, where you can actually go and just extract money from that market by providing value because you know the market better. So just pick the market you have an advantage in. And then obviously our next step is going to be, we need to find a problem. So something that the market is actually struggling with, and then we will have to build a solution. So obviously, as we have stated up here, I'm going to tell you in a section number 2 of this tutorial what AI automation we will sell. Okay, I just grabbed my pen. And that's going to be the part of the problem. And then obviously we're going to cover how to build the AI automation. So that's going to be the solution. And obviously then I'm going to tell you how you can, like a very, very simple, tutorial on how you can go to the market and sign your first client with that solution, and how to even figure it all out. And then obviously how to deliver on the first client. So how to actually, after getting that first client, take this solution and properly just deliver it, right? So this is what we were going to cover, but I wanted to start with the market. So I wanted to elaborate very quickly on the market because it is truly the most important thing in any AI agency. Because if you're going to go out after a very bad market, then no matter how competent you are, no matter how absolutely insanely amazing you are at marketing and building automations and building teams around it and operations and everything, if your market is just horrible and they have zero money, like you're not going to benefit much, right? Unless you're some crazy, high level billionaire type of entrepreneur, but I would assume those type of people don't really watch the content like I'm sharing right now. So this is how do we start? We start with the market. We started with the understanding that we need to go after one group of people. We need to provide them one sort of solution because it's going to allow us to deliver them faster, keep higher margins, be better, have more credibility, and there is a lot of benefits to focusing on one solution. And obviously we want the market to have the purchasing power. And also for us, one important thing that I forgot to mention, what a shame, is I'm going to draw a phone. One of the most important thing also in the market is to be able to reach out to them, to that market. This is a phone, by the way. So, or like an email. So the last important thing about the market is that we need to be able to somehow reach out to them. This is a message cloud, by the way. So we need to somehow be able to reach out to that market, right? So we need to somehow be able to reach out to that market either via phone, either via email, or either via message, and reach out to them and get their attention, because otherwise we will not be able to, transact any, proceed in any commercial transactions and provide any value to the market. But this is the part one. It is pretty much done. It's all I was supposed to cross that one. Okay, but the point of this part is that we start with the market. We start with a group of people that have enough money, we can contact, they speak English, and our AI automations will be able to add a lot of value. And obviously, I'm going to elaborate on that in the part number 2, which is going to be what AI automation will sell, so we can cross that one out. We already made some progress. If you made it till this part of the tutorial, then obviously you did make some progress. So the part number 1 is already checked off. We know how we start. We start with the market. This is the most important thing if you want to sell AI agents and AI automations to the market. So then I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to probably record the second part tomorrow or in a couple of days because I'm busy. But then we are going to talk about what AI automation will sell. I'm going to tell you how you can go to the market after you picked it, how you can research what will actually matter, and how you can go and actually verify whether that solution makes sense. And then we're going to cover how you can build that solution. So I'm going to give you a technical tutorial because there's way too many of these out there, but I'm just going to give you a high level strategy on how you can actually go and do it. And then I'm going to give you a practical approach how to find your first client. And here's very, very likely where you are going to make money. So this is the part you're probably waiting for, but we have to work for it, unfortunately. So if you want, this is the part number 4. We're probably going to make some money, hopefully, and then after you make that money, I'm gonna hopefully share all of my mistakes and all of my lessons on how to not lose this money. Because if you'll not be able to deliver, then obviously you're going to lose the money. But that's part number 1. Let's right now stop this video. I mean, I'm gonna stop it, but you're gonna watch the further video, and let's just right now move to the part number 2.
All right, so right now we are going to take care of part number 2, which is going to be what AI automation will we sell. So let's just start this part of the tutorial. I mean, the guide, however you want to call it. So part 2, what AI automation will we sell? So look, as you remember, obviously we already stated that the most important thing is our market, right? So reasoning from that premise is that if our market is going to be the most important thing in our entire AI agency, then figuring out what AI automation to sell by watching, let's say, a YouTube video or any other type of content where someone is telling you what type of AI automation he's selling for $500 a month passively is probably not going to be the best option. But the best option is going to be based on your market, because different types of automation will bring the most revenue and the most value to the market if you're going to be working with, let's say, gyms, and different type of automation will be selling the best for, let's say, real estate agents, right? So the whole answer to this question as to what AI automation will we sell is that honestly I do not know, and neither do you, because the thing is the market will decide. So
Honestly, I could end this here, and I could just say, listen, the market just decides. The market will tell you what they want, like it is in any market. Like the market pretty much decides whether you will make money and your solution is valuable, or you will simply fail and not make any money from it. But I'm gonna give you like a practical approach how you can reach out to the market and let the market tell you what they want. So, obviously, because the market is going to be a group of people, as we already established, like most likely 40,000 businesses, we are going to need some sort of a statistical sample that is more than, you know, couple of people. So we're going to aim for around 5 to 7 people in the market, right? So they are going to be in our market, that are going to tell us a very similar story, very similar problem, and based on that, we are going to set our hypothesis as to what the market wants. Because obviously, if we want to approach that market, obviously it's more likely that they're going to give us what we want, which is money. So if we are going to give them what they actually want, or maybe I'm gonna just phrase it, what they actually need. So if we want to approach the market, we need to approach them with something that they want. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now how we can actually go and figure it out. So as a result of that transaction and that, you know, commercial, you know, transaction, they will give us money. So obviously we are going to need to give them something that actually matters to that market and will actually make sense. So as we stated, market decides. So right now, let me just show you how we can actually go and practically go about it, how we can reach out to that market, how we can validate the solution, and how we can actually see what AI automation will we sell to that market. So let's right now just simply start the very simple SOP. If you don't know what SOP is, it's just a standard operating procedure, but just an approach we can call it. So look, what we aim for, as I already said, is we aim for a pattern, right? We aim for a pattern of a problem that, if solved, will give us money from that market. And we need at least, I would say, 5 to 7 people that will give us a very similar, or even higher if you have enough time, but if you're moving quickly, then perhaps this is enough. We need like a pattern of something that is predictably recurring in every single conversation we're going to have with the market, and I'm going to show you how we can do it in just a second. So we need something that is recurring and is a repeatable pattern and a process where people are telling you, hey, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that, and it's crafting a coherent, repeatable narrative. If we have that, then we are going to be able to actually deliver some proper value and give some actual, you know, value to the market, and as a result of it, we are going to benefit economically from that. So here is how a couple of things you need to look out for, and I'm going to show you how you can actually spot that pattern in just a second. So in one word, what we are looking for is a pattern of a problem that, if solved, will create value. Okay? It's a very basic economical premise that we need to give value to the market in order for that market to give us money in return. So here's the thing. Here are a couple of things that we need to make clear here if we were talking about what AI automation will say. First of all, we actually need to be needed, right? Because if you are not needed in the market, then it's sooner or later you will not withstand the test of the market, right? So if you are approaching the market with a solution, you are aiming for something that is actually needed, that the market needs, or it is highly, highly important to have in every single business. So this is one of the traits of these solutions that I want you to keep in mind as you're going to be reaching out to the market. I want you to look out for things that the market actually needs. And what I mean by need is that if people are saying, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, kind of a great thing, you know, that's actually interesting, then avoid those type of solutions. But if you're going to start hearing phrases like, man, if you could give me that, that would be amazing, or that would be a game changer, or that would be deal breaking. Those are the type of solutions we're going after because that's something the market is actually going to be striving for. Another thing that you need to really, really look out for, if you can spot that, is to find an automation that, if placed in a business, will make you irreplaceable. So try to look for automations and try to look for parts of the business in the markets that you're going after, where if you place an AI, you will make yourself a replaceable part of their business. That's going to also be a hugely important point in looking out for an AI solution. So what I mean by this is, let's say you're going after, I don't know, real estate agents. And let's say
you are going to reach out to the market and you're going to research that market, and soon you will realize, let's say, that one of their crucial elements of running their business is going to be their lead generation and lead nurturing process. And let's say you're going to based on that market like needs and that market what the market actually wants, you will simply realize, okay, let's say you're going to figure out some automation that will be automating the lead generation and nurturing process, and you're going to place that automation in the business. And after you place that automation in the business, you'll make yourself irreplaceable. If you will be able to achieve something that the market actually needs and you will make yourself irreplaceable, you're going to very strategically position yourself to have a strong position in the market and generate some actual value for a market, and that will make you highly competitive in the AI agency world. Another thing which I want to really make very clear, when I say needed, or when I say maybe more value, just try to look out for an AI automation that will save the most time for the prospect and will at the same time give them most money, or either save or make them more money. If you can just figure something out that will either give them or save them a lot of money, and at the same time give them back a lot of time that perhaps they are already paying for in their team, for their team's time. If you can just figure out how you can save them a lot of money, how you can give them a lot of money, and how you can give them a lot of time back, how you can be needed, and how you can be irreplaceable. If you just cross out at least like 2 of those, you are going to be really needed, and you're going to see that your business is becoming easier than probably your competitors, because you're actually positioning yourself in the market to actually get those sort of solutions. So I want you to remember those couple of things. Try to look out for something that will make you that the market actually needs, and you'll be needed in the market. Try to look for a solution that will make you irreplaceable, that is a crucial part of their business. Try to look out for solutions that will give the business owner, if solved, the most time back, and also at the same time figure out what AI automations will give the business owner the most money in the business, or will save the most money in the business. And if you can look out for those traits of a solution, then if you can actually figure out that product market fit, and trust me, there are plenty of markets with plenty of those solutions. So there's still a huge amount of opportunities and a lot of markets that if the solutions that you're going to go after will carry those traits, then obviously you are out for a great business, right? And now, how to actually do it. So how we can actually go and put that theory into practice, and how we can actually go to that market, and how you can do it. So as we already established earlier, the market needs to be somehow contacted. So I would strongly encourage you to start with phone calls, because they are just the most direct, the fastest way to do it. So you can either grab a phone, you can go also and do it over email as well, or honestly even over like text messages if you want. So obviously we will need to reach out to that market to actually speak with the market to see what they want. Obviously here, if you have some money, then you can speed up the process by probably putting the process that I'm going to give you right now, but in the paid version, and just running ads. But if you don't have capital or experience in running ads, you're just going to waste a lot of money. But you can do that with ads, or maybe if you have like content, or if you have like a brand. So here we could also put brand, but the thing is that with brands is that they take a long time to build, and it's very unlikely most of my audience will have them. So probably the option with ads is not going to be really possible. Neither will be the brand option. And if you have them, then obviously it's a leverage that you can use. But what we are going to do is we're going to reach out to that market, and because we don't have any product, and because we don't have any solution, and we don't even know what we are going to sell them, we need to do something that is called market research. So here's how we're going to do it. Here's how I did it. Look, obviously you don't have any experience, you don't have anything. So what you're going to simply do is you're going to call that market. I'm going to give you an example with calling, but you can put the same approach into messages, emails, text, ads, or even like brand if you want. And what we are going to tell that market is that we are an AI consultant. And obviously, don't worry, because as you see, I'm quite ethical, so we are not going to claim to be someone who we are not, because that would be obviously unethical approach. But what we are going to see that is that we're an AI consultant, and we are just starting out. And here's the thing. We are going to say that we are just starting out, and because of that, we offer for the next 30 days, let's say, as an example, but you can, you know, just get creative with that. For the next 30 days, we are going to say that we are offering a free 20-minute, the word free is crucial here, for the next 30 days, so we create some scarcity, and here for the honesty factor, which is also very crucial, we're going to reach out to that market and literally say to them, like you could say something in the lines of, let's say you're calling for the real estate agents as previously, like, you know, given as an example, you could say, hey, very nice to meet you, Mr. Realtor. Look, with full transparency with you, I'm reaching out because I'm an AI consultant. I am just starting out my career path. And the reason I'm starting out, the reason I'm calling you is because, as I said, I'm starting out. And for the next 30 days, I offer free 20-minute AI consultations for real estate agents because I'm just starting out. I want to make my name out there. And I just wanted to ask you if there'll be something of an interest to you to hop on a 20-minute free consultation with me where I would just audit your business for free. I'm going to tell you where AI would give you the biggest impact in your business, where you can make the most money, save the most time, and get the highest ROI possible. And it's completely free. I'm just offering that for the next 30 days before I start charging prices for that. Is that something of an interest to you? Literally do that and reach out to the market. So this is a very simple approach. It's not analytical. We are saying that we are starting out. So if you fuck up somewhere in the process, then people were expecting that because you were saying that you're just starting out, and then you can actually go and probably, I would advise you to like reach out to at least 50 to 150 people every single day, or even like honestly do like 250, honestly do as much as you can. But realistically speaking, for most of the people, depending on the life situation, you will not be able to do more than 50 to 150 outreaches every single day. But if you reach out to like even 100 people every single day with that approach of saying, hey, I'm just starting out as an AI consultant, I'm being fully transparent with you. The reason I'm reaching out is because I'm just trying to, make my name out there. I'm offering for the next 30 days free consultations. After that period, I'm going to start charging prices. And if that will be something of an interest, I can audit your business, tell you where AI would make a lot of sense in your business. And it's a completely free offer right now because I am just starting out. And literally reach out to 100 to 150, 50, 200 if you can people a day. And then you're going to convert those people into bookings, right? So you're going to actually book calls with them, and after you book calls with them, let's move to another part, which is how you're actually going to reach out to them. Because I mean, this is literally what I did, and this is how I found my product market fit that I'm still working on and iterating right now. So I'm just following you literally the process I have followed, and this is I wish I just used it when I was starting out because I wasted a bunch of time and I could be way further ahead than I am right now. But obviously we cannot reverse time, so at least some of the people that are going to watch this content will avoid the mistakes I've made. So look, here's the thing. After you're going to book the call, on this call, we have one objective. We need to spot the pattern, okay? So the only objective of this call is to spot the pattern and give them some sort of a value, value, and also some basic advice in terms of AI. So we're not just taking their time. We also want to give them some sort of value for showing up to the call. And don't worry if you don't know anything about AI. I'm just going to give you a very basic approach, advice as to what you can do if you don't know AI and how you can quickly learn it. So on those calls, throughout the time you're booking them, you're also going to be able to learn and see, practically learn some technical tools and understanding to be able to show some real value to the business, because you can very quickly learn that, and it's not really that complex to get onto a level where you can actually provide some value. So look, on this call, which is going to be anywhere from 20 to probably 40 minutes, depending on how nice the prospect is going to be. And keep in mind, business owners, in my experience, very, 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 very much appreciate and like honesty and transparency. Because if you're going to cold call a business, or call a business and say, I don't know, hey there, Mark, how are you doing today? Who the fuck is calling some random person and asking them how they are doing? Obviously, every single business owner that's been dealing in has been in the industry for quite a while will see, okay, another salesperson with a copy and paste cold calling script. So if you're just transparent, you will see how positively business owners will react. Now, obviously, there are going to be some rude people, but unfortunately, that is the name of the game, and you just gotta deal with it. So look, after you're going to hop on a call with them, it's very, very simple. First of all, you want to just thank them, right? So literally say thank you, and because you want to show them some appreciation, because they are literally giving you information that will allow you to build a business. So at least be thankful and say that you are grateful for the fact that they are showing up. And here's the thing: you want to ask them for their process, right? So first of all, you want to ask them quickly to if they could just introduce you and map you for like explain the business to you and show you the entire process and map out every single stage of the business so you can have a better understanding of that business. And then you want to ask them simply for their problems, right? So you want to ask them, okay, what do you struggle with the most? What is the most painful thing to you? What do you hate the most about your business? And not only you want to write it all down, you want to also really pay attention in those problems. Also ask them, where do they put the most time in, like what is the most time consuming activities, and also where they spend or like lose the most money. So ask about time and money and problems, and literally that's the only purpose of the call. You're asking them, okay, could you please introduce to the business and explain how it works? You're going to start up to map up the process, and you will understand how it works, and you're going to gain experience on the market. And then after you understand at least to some basic degree the business and what they are doing, literally ask them about their problems. Literally ask them, okay, what do you struggle with the most? And let's say you can clarify, where do you think like you're wasting the most time and what's the most time consuming activities? Where do you feel you're overspending money? Where do you spend the most money? Where do you spend the most time? What do you struggle with? Like, you ask them questions about what do you don't like about the business? Where do you spend the most of your time and money? And where do you think we could save your time and money? If you just focus on that for 20 to 30 minutes, you're going to like optimize for the highest ROI from those calls in terms of like seeing what actually works, what actually can work in the market and what people actually work. And here's what we do. As you're running those calls, probably after, let's say, 10 to 15 calls, you'll start to see a pattern. And the only way you're going to see that pattern to formulate your first hypothesis is you need to track it somewhere, because data is everything. So you need to track it, okay? So what I want you to do is literally open up a Google Sheet, and after every single call, write down, literally list every single thing the prospect said to you. So let's say you open a Google Sheet and you say call 1, right? And you can, let's say, put the name of the prospect here. So you know who you're talking about, and perhaps if you ask them for permission to record, you can also put a link to the recording, and you list out everything they told you, everything, and literally every problem, what they told about the business, what is the process, and you do that over and over again for the same thing you would do for call number 2, and then you also like list out everything they told you, and you do that for 10 to 15 like people, or maybe slightly more or slightly less people, and then you look at the the data sheet, right? You look at the you properly look at the Google Sheet, or you can also open an Excel file up to your decision, and you will literally scroll through the list, and you will probably spot some sort of things that are repeating, and you'll see some sort of a pattern and some things that are recurring across many across the people that you're speaking to, and that will allow you that will give you some data to formulate the first hypothesis as to what AI automation can you sell. Because unless we make the decision based on some sort of data from the market, and we're just shooting in the darkness, and we know like entrepreneurship and overall starting an AI agency is chaotic already, and you're walking in the darkness, and you're kind of a lunatic, because there's like little proof of concept in the market compared to some other industries that, let's say, have been around for hundreds of years. So obviously this is quite of a new market, so we are kind of all walking in the darkness, and we're all kind of lunatics, and nobody knows what's going on, which is, if you're feeling something overwhelmed, then it's just normal. Everyone feels this way, like you have no idea what's going on, but that's just how it is. So look, here's what we are doing. We are spotting the pattern, and we need to figure out what is the recurring theme, and after enough time, you'll see that there is probably 1 to 3 things that are recurring that you have an idea, and I'm gonna show you how you can have an idea in just a second. In terms of how that could be solved with AI, and you're like, okay, well, that's starting to be quite of an interesting idea. That's starting to make some sense. Let's say, and I'm gonna try. That's a light bulb, by the way. So, look,
And probably after some time, you will start to think to yourself, well, that is making some sense. Like I see some potential for an opportunity here in the market. And you'll probably start to see, let's say, for sticking to the real estate example, let's say people would start to tell you, there is a problem with like following up on the leads, let's say. Like follow up on the leads is a problem. And let's say you're going to hear that in the first call, second call, fourth call, sixth call, and like you're going to start to map out the pattern. And after you're writing it all down and you're mapping it all out in Google Sheets, it will allow you to give you data to spot the pattern easily, because you will be able to scroll and literally analyze what the market told you. And after you will do that, you will be able to formulate a hypothesis. So here's how you can, like, based on the premises that I gave you earlier, like after you're going to start to see a pattern, we will be able to formulate the hypothesis number one, which is going to allow us to see like what the market actually like wants and what we can give out to the market and what the market is likely to pay us some money for, because obviously if the market is telling you repeatedly on the calls, then you're formulating a hypothesis, and obviously with that you can be more likely to be right than not. So after you're going to see, as I said, probably 5 to 7 people with the same pattern, and you will see the same problem recurring and the same people, the same type of complaining and the same type of problems and the same like pattern, like in simply put, you will write down your first hypothesis, right? So after that pattern, let's say sticking with the lead follow-up example, you're going to say, okay, well, then let's say the follow-up is going to be the example. Okay, so you're going to say, okay, everyone is talking about follow-up, let's say as a real estate agent. I don't know, because I don't work with other real estate agents, but I just see that as a common problem. I mean, I know some real estate agents, but I don't work with them. So I just seen that follow-up as an example. So I'm just speaking out of the top of my head. Look, and then you're going to think to yourself, okay, so there is, let's say 5 to 7 people that told me that follow-up is a problem in the industry. This is my hypothesis number one. So you're going to say version 1, hypothesis that real estate agents are likely to pay for an AI automation that will increase their, like that will just be able to help with the follow-up. So after you set the hypothesis, you want to go back to the principles that I gave you and ask yourself, okay, is that going to make me irreplaceable? Does the market actually need it? Is it actually generating some revenue? Is it actually saving some time? If it's answering positively to most of them, then you're likely to have a great hypothesis. And if the market tells you that, then it's very likely that you have the hypothesis. So the most important thing for the hypothesis is that you need to very clearly state it, right? So very clearly state, literally, this is the problem. I'm just gonna write P. This is the problem. This is the solution, and this is the like, just let's say the amount of money I want to charge as a hypothesis. But we were gonna get into that in just a second. So this is the problem. This is the solution. This is the potential money I'm gonna charge. This is just the hypothesis, right? So you want to state it very, very clearly. I'm doing X, Y, and Z for X niche, and this is what I'm gonna help them with. And also, what is very helpful is you want to even for your V1 hypothesis. Whoa, I didn't know I could do that. That's amazing. Wow, I'm discovering this till with you here. Look. That's amazing, actually. So you want to map out the process. I don't know why it didn't work this way right now. It's working. Perfect. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna write boxes then. As you see, this is a very serious level of production quality. Can this work? That's the last try. Okay, never mind, never mind. Look, so what you want to also do is you want to map out the process. Oh, now it worked. You want to map out the entire process and everything that you know about the hypothesis to be true. So sticking with the follow-up example, you want to map out like on literally drawing like a process diagram. You want to map out the entire flow. So here you want to write step number 1, step number 3, step number 2, 3, and 4. So you're just trying to map out the process and the system that you're going to try to automate, and that statement. So what I'm clearly doing and then what I'm clearly going to solve is going to help you in the future in writing your offers, communicating to that market, and also instead of like not only communicating to the market, but also instead of like obviously communicating to the market is going to be one thing, but also it's going to
help you to later like sell to the market and also build the product and just iterate it. So you're stating the process, you're mapping out the process, and this is all based on what the market has told you. So you gotta pay attention and listen carefully. So yeah, that's everything. That's how we decide what AI automation will we sell. And actually the answer to that question is we don't decide, the market decides, as with any other business. The market will decide. So part 2 is already done. So what AI automation will we sell is already answered, and the answer is very simple right now. You know that it's all about the market will decide, and perhaps I'm wrong, but that's what I'm doing right now. But so we will see in the future whether I'm going to be right or wrong with this approach. So the part number 2 of the tutorial is done. The market decides, and the market will tell us what AI automation will be built. And then let's move right now to the step number 3, which is going to be how we can actually build this AI automation. And don't worry, I'm not going to turn it into a 10-hour technical tutorial right now. I'm just going to give you a very, I didn't want to do that. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna reverse like that. So I'm gonna give you a very like a thinking framework instead of the tools. I want to teach you how to think, not just how to do it, because then you can actually go and build something creative yourself, and that's how you create an advantage. So I'm gonna tell you how you can go actually about and how to build the automation, what tools to learn, how to learn them, and where to go about learning them, and how to formulate the hypothesis. How after formulating the hypothesis you can go and properly just go and build it. So that's the part number 2. We're going to move to part number 3 in just a second. So yeah, I'm going to record it probably in the next couple of days as well, because it's a lengthy tutorial, but I just want to give you everything I know about just selling AI automation and AI agents. So after formulating the hypothesis, we are going to go and build the automation. All right, so we already covered how you can start and where to even start, what AI automation will we sell, how will we figure out what we are going to do. And right now we are going to move to the part number 3 of the tutorial, which is how to actually build those AI automations. And don't worry, it's not going to be 8-hour technical tutorial on n8n or Make or any other automation platform, because I believe in teaching you how to think and know the tactical skills, because the tactical skills are way easier to acquire than a way of thinking, and I'm just going to show you my way of thinking, and you can just extrapolate that and go and do it yourself, because I'm far more interested in teaching you how to think, act, and make decisions than to just give you some basic understanding on how to just use, for example, n8n, because it's way easier to learn that yourself. So let's just start this part of the video, which is just how to build those AI automations. So as we already discovered, and as we already mentioned, you already have a hypothesis, right? So the thing is, with this hypothesis, it's going to be an AI automation actually. Not already done, but you already have an AI automation by the hypothesis. Like you haven't technically built it yet, but you already know what you are going to be building with that hypothesis. Because let's say if sticking to the example, if you have the follow-up problem in the real estate agents, I'm not going to type real estate agents, but if we have the follow-up problem with the real estate agent, that is already an AI automation. Like if you want to solve a follow-up problem with AI for real estate agents, then obviously that's going to be an AI automation within of itself. So we already figured out the AI automation we have, which is just the hypothesis, because we started with a problem or something, a need of the market, or a problem with the market, or a need of the market, created our hypothesis, and that's going to be our V1 AI automation. So here's what we are going to right now do. Based on this hypothesis, we need to understand technically right now how to build it. So I don't know what is your level of experience. If you already know 5 programming languages, all the automation platforms, you've been coding since you were 3 years old, then obviously this part of the automation will not help you as much as it will to people who are just beginners, just starting out. But I'm going to give you a high level overview and a high level strategy as to how you can properly go and how you can actually go build it out and actually just deliver this automation. Because here's the thing, I've already covered it in my other video, but what I'm gonna clearly very quickly share with you right now is that if this is you and you want to build your AI automation, so here I'm just gonna type AI. If you want to build, okay, I made a mistake.
selecting that option. If you want to build an AI automation, the problem is that if you are going to go to, let's say, I don't know, YouTube, because this is where people most likely will go to learn any AI skills or any courses or whatever technically will teach you how to just, you know, build and sell automations. The thing is, there is on YouTube so much AI chaos. Like, I'm gonna even draw like chaos here. There is so much channels, there is so much information, there is everything about AI. It's just a big abyss in terms of like AI automations and everything. So if you will start to research how to build AI, how to build AI automations, you're gonna fall into a never-ending black hole of AI automations, AI tools, AI, like, it's, whoa, I hit my microphone. You see, very high quality level of production. So if you are going to fall into this abyss of everything about AI, you are going to completely overwhelm yourself, and in no way or shape or form is going to falling into that abyss is going to help you with delivering on that hypothesis to the market. So this is why we are going to have a slightly different approach. Instead of going into the YouTube and typing how to build AI automations or annotated courses, it's not worth it. So what we are going to do with this hypothesis is do two things. First of all, we are going to create a document, right? You can just use Google document. And I want you with text, like literally type on the document, everything that you know about the hypothesis from that market. So here you just write who you're going to work for. So we are going to write who, right? So who is our niche? Then we are going to define the problem, right? So we are going to explain what is the problem. We're not talking about the AI yet. We're going to talk about what is the problem, right? So who we are going to work with, and who, like, what is the market, what is the problem. Then we are going to explain what is the process, right? And I don't know why this pen is not cooperating and is destroying my video, so you gotta forgive me, probably gotta replace it. So then we're going to explain the process. So in the process, what I mean is like, I'm just talking about the workflow of the company. So who you're working with, what is the problem, what is the workflow of that company, what is like the need, like slash task. So what we actually need to do, because let's say if the problem is that we need to, let's say, solve the follow-up problem. This is the problem, but the need and the task we need to do is, let's say, build some sort of infrastructure that will be automating the follow-up, right? So we are explaining who you're working for, what is the problem, what is the process of the company. So what is the flow of the business. We need to explain what is the need, what is the task here. So in this document, we just want to put all the information about our V1 hypothesis for that market, and that into that document we are delivering who we're working, who we're gonna do that for, what is the problem, what is the process, what is the task, and all the other like info. So just here you want to put as much info as possible. So any other things that are important, but if you are going to explain who you're working for, what is their problem, what is the process in their business, and what do you actually need to do, it's enough for what we are going to do in just a second. And the second thing you need to do is you need to do something called process mapping. Okay, so what you do is, if you're process mapping, is that you just go to something like Miro or any other like tool that allows you to visualize something, and you literally take this piece of like document text, right, and you visualize it in like a flow of, like in the chart flow in a system. So you create like flows. You want to see what you're going to be building, right, even though you don't know yet what you're going to be building, and you just map out the entire flow. So based on your hypothesis, you set up the document of all the information, and also the process with like everything that needs to be, like the entire process of our hypothesis. So you download that document, and that can be like a PDF, right? And here is going to be also, I think you can export that in PDF format as well. So depending on the tool you're using. So you export those two files based on the hypothesis, and then we move to another step, which is how to actually properly deliver that. So now we are going to finally use some sort of AI tool, but not to build anything yet. So if you have some money to spend, like I think it's $20 a month for a Claude subscription, I would just advise you to do that. As the time of the recording of this video, this is probably the best way to actually do it if you don't know much. But I mean, if you're watching this in 6 months or 12 months from the publishing, from the day after I published this tutorial, probably we are going to be in a different AI world anyway, because we are traveling at speed of light, and this world is just a fucking like abyss chaos traveling at a speed of light. So look, what you do is I'm gonna draw the logo of Claude. So is gonna be a great visual. So what you do is you go to Claude. Wow, that's an amazing drawing. What you do is you go to Claude, and if you have like $20 to spend, that's obviously going to give you the access. This pen is annoying me. If you're going to Claude and you are just, I'm gonna throw it out of the window in just a second if it's not gonna start cooperating with me. It's annoying me. Okay, if you have like $20 or however expensive, the Claude subscription is going to be, just buy the Pro and choose the highest model. And now what you do is I'm just gonna explain to you the like a high level approach as to how you can actually learn it. So you upload those two PDFs, right? So let's say they are just in PDF formats. So you upload them to the prompt writing. Let's say here is the window, here is like your typing bar, and here is Claude welcoming you, saying hello, how I can help. Hi. This is Claude, right? And here's your response. So just imagine this is and here's like the little dot where you can upload the files. So here you upload those two documents with the process mapping and everything explained about your hypothesis. And now you will need to write out the prompt, right? So here I'm just gonna give you the prompt. Like, I'm not gonna write the prompt, but I'm just gonna give you a high level thing of what you need to put in that prompt. So look, obviously here you need to put the identity of Claude. So like who the Claude is. So who here, obviously, if you don't know anything about prompting, then you can just go and figure it out, but just say you're an expert in just visual, like explaining the technical strategy and everything that needs to be learned in order to deliver the project. Then you're going to the Claude context, right? So obviously here in the context, you're going to explain, hey, I just spoke to 5 business owners. I'm building out the proper, like I'm building right now. I'm just building out right now the hypothesis number 1 of how I'm gonna, like, product market fit, what I'm going to deliver to the market. I have collected information, I mapped out the process, and I don't know anything about the technicalities, and I need to learn very, very quickly what I need to learn. And then you're going to obviously give Claude the task. So in the task, you're just going to explain to Claude, you're going to say, okay, so look, please, based on the process, based on everything, based on the documents and everything I just told you and of the context, please map out the entire the only required technical skills. And here you can put words like 80-20, so the Claude will have better context. Like, please put me 80-20 on what I need to learn, what are the technical skills, what is everything that I need to understand and know in order to deliver this project with no-code AI automation tools that are best suited for delivering automations and then maintaining those automations for companies, and just explain everything to me. So here's going to be text, and then the output format, you can just say like a PDF document, so PDF output if you want. And obviously then you explain to Claude, write me down everything that I need to learn and give me a learning plan and what tools I need to learn in terms of no-code automations. And what's going to probably happen is Claude will return to you the explanation, like because look, I want to make this video as universal and as evergreen as possible. So if I were to right now spend 8 hours explaining how to use n8n, not only there are 10,000 other videos that can teach you how to do it, I'm not going to give you any specifics that will help you with your own automation, because I believe that there are so many industries right now. There are so many use cases for automation that it's impossible to build like a tutorial that will give you specific skills for a specific automation. Because if you're going to go to real estate agents and build them a follow-up infrastructure, you will need a completely different set of skill set. I mean, there are some universal skills, but there are going to be different requirements and specifics of that automation that if you were to go to, let's say, I don't know, dental clinics and build them like a financial statements automation, right? There are so many automations. So you go to Claude and you prompt that with explanation of what's going on, like what you do. You put those 2 documents. So the entire context, this pen is starting to annoy me so much. You're just putting then to Claude everything that you know, everything that you've collected, all the hypotheses. You explain who you are, what do you need to do, what is the context. You explain the task, and Claude will probably return to you like a list with everything that you need to know. Probably it's going to give you some basic advisory that you need to learn. APIs. Maybe it's going to give you platform like, let's say, Make, right? Make or n8n, right? So here maybe this pen is starting to really play on my nerves, and it's going to lose its position in just a second in my office. You gotta forgive me, but I'm testing your attention span right now with this pen because it's fucking annoying me. So look, it's probably going to return you some NA10, so some sort of like a automation engine, probably some basic, maybe JSON, depending on the automation you're gonna be building. Maybe it's gonna give you some AI voice, like, I don't know, here we could go, well, I don't know, let's say like Vappy or like retail here. So it's going to give you some, like tools based on what you actually need. So it's going to be a custom applied plan to your automation. So like I'm just speaking out of the top of my head, probably APIs, probably some sort of automation platform, maybe some JSON if you need it, maybe some voice, maybe some basic cybersecurity, right? So cybersecurity, maybe some basic cybersecurity, maybe some basic, what else, like some, okay, I'm not gonna speak like further, but again, because I was just trying to think of an automation, but then I reminded myself that I'm trying to create a universal tutorial, so it may be completely different on the use case, but those are some most important, like most popular, most universal, like APIs, automation engine, some basic programming, or maybe like Python, right? Maybe it's gonna be, you're gonna need some Python, some maybe AI voice, maybe some cybersecurity, maybe some Python for slash like data privacy, you know, and just on and on and on. And then what you simply do is you take this list, and Claude is probably gonna Claude is probably going to give you already like a roadmap anyway. But then you can, after you output that, you can literally ask it to go and research you best YouTube videos that will allow you to learn those tools. So you can literally ask Claude to go into YouTube or some sort of forum, some sort of articles, and find you the most like lengthy, practical, free guides on how to actually learn those skills, right? So then you can go and ask Claude like, hey, go and research me what sort of what sort of tutorials will teach me those AI tools, and will give me the most 80-20 approach, so I'll be able to learn those skills as soon as possible to deliver those automations. And then you go and you learn it. And that's it. There is no cutting corners. You need to learn something. But I think this is the most asymmetrical, the most fastest way to actually learn how to make money with AI, because obviously you're learning you're not learning some useless bullshit that is just a trendy AI topic. You're learning what you actually need to deliver the automations. And after you have 80-20, so you actually know everything that you need to know for the AI tech stack. So you know all the AI, like the 80-20 of all the skills that Claude taught you to explain to you to use. Obviously, when you're also requesting, I would strongly encourage you to just pay for Claude subscription and use the reasoning model. It's going to research you and just use the deep reasoning, because obviously Claude is right now just amazing at doing those things. So you can go and do it, and then you actually go and learn them. And then after enough, you can also ask Claude what is like the minimum viable understanding of your tech skills to actually deliver the automation. And then you have the skill set and you know how to build those automations right now. So even though I didn't give you like a universal, I didn't give you like a tutorial here, full NA10 10-hour guide, what I did is I taught you how to think and how you can go and learn it yourself. Because it is way more there are so many guides, so many articles, so many free courses you can go to. There are so many AI automations, so many prompting, so many API courses, so many, so much everything of everything in terms of learning the technical skills. But there is, I think, way greater value in showing you how to just approach it so you can go and figure it out yourself. Because if I teach you how to think, you can go and actually build a proper AI skill set and an AI automation, and you can learn it very, very quickly. And the only thing I'll just leave you here is just one word, which is speed. Just try to learn it as soon as possible. Try to list out everything that you need to learn, sit for as long as you can, learn it as soon as you can, and then go and properly start to okay, so speed also in practice. So instead of, you need to move quickly and practically learn it. So if you're learning an A10 and you're starting to grasp the first concept, okay, those are the nodes, here's how I can connect something, here's how I connect APIs. start to build it as soon as possible. Go to your V1 and start to build it as soon as possible, because if you do that, you will gain practical experience. So move quickly and move practically. So actually learn the skills necessary to deliver those AI automations and start to build it already. And this is pretty much how we build the first AI automation. This is how to build those AI automations. You map out what you need to learn with Claude, map out everything that you already know. Claude will give you a learning plan, because I cannot give you, because I don't know what hypothesis you will set. You go and learn it as soon as possible. You're going to learn it quickly and start to build the automation already. There are also plenty of other videos on my YouTube channel that are more like into how to, you know, problem solve, how to map systems, how to improve your automations. So if you want to go into like if you go into how to do that, then obviously they are going to be on my YouTube channel, because I have some videos on how to improve your automations, what mistakes I've made. So there is more, like, you know, content on my channel, but for this guide, this is the most asymmetrical part. So we already moved through that first 3 parts of the tutorial. So you know what automations you will sell, you know how to start, you know how to build that automation. So right now, after you will understand how to build it, and you already will have the skill set necessarily, and please don't procrastinate. Like, if you need to be competent enough to deliver to the first client, nothing more. Like, on the first client, you'll probably make a lot of mistakes, and unfortunately that's just how the game is. But if you learn the basics and you can build that automation, you can go to the step number 4, which is how to find your first client. And here's likely where you will make your first money. So hopefully that's going to be helpful. So this is how to build your AI automations, how to learn how to build the AI automation. So yeah, you just learn what you need to know. You go in as quickly as possible, put that into practice. As you're learning the tools in the context of your automations, start to build out the V1 as soon as possible. So create some imaginary documents, create some imaginary workflows, accounts, and just build the V1 and learn how to deliver it. You will feel like you have no idea what you're going on, and you will be scared to go and build that for the first client, but that's how it is. I mean, what else were you expecting? Unfortunately, you just have to do it. And, you know, I'm just gonna tell you what is true. And nobody likes it. It's very uncomfortable. We don't like to do the things we have no idea how to do. I mean, unless you're some sort of very well-minded and sort of in mindset psychopath, then perhaps you do. But I can tell you, I have a whiteboard in front of me. After recording this video, I have a lot of things to do that I yet do not know how to do. And there's a lot of things that I need to figure out. And there's a lot of things that I do know how to do, but I just hate to do them. But that is just the nature of AI automations agencies. You have no, sometimes you will look at your automation, sometimes you will look at after the client meetings, and you will ask yourself, what the fuck is going on? And then you just have to figure it out. But we have tools, we have ways of thinking, we have just mental models, and we need to figure it out. That's pretty much the nature of this business, because as I said, probably for your hypothesis, the more niche you go, there may be a case that no one has ever built it. There is a big market for it, but no one has ever created it, right? Because if you're gonna go mainstream, you're gonna copy everyone and build like another AI voice agents for, I don't know, dental clinics and compete with 20,000 other people. However, if you're going to just think a bit more critically and you're going to go a certain market and you will see a big problem, you will likely discover something which is a use case that can make you a fuck ton of money, but nobody ever tried it, because, you know, people are just copying and pasting instead of thinking, and I'm just trying to teach you how to think, and that's what I'm doing. So look, that's how to build the automations. Right now, we're going to move to how to find your first AI clients. I'm just going to share with you what I did to find my first AI client. And then we're going to actually move to the most scary part, which is how to deliver your first AI client. I'm just going to give you a couple of things and a couple of mistakes that I've made as I was trying to deliver with my business partner the first clients, which was a funny ride. And yeah, that's it. Right now, let's move to part number 4.
All right, so right now we are going to talk about how you can find your first AI agency client. So I'm just going to quickly share with you pretty much what I did to sign my first couple of clients. And I wish I just knew this method earlier, because I would just save myself a lot of time. And obviously I would just sign my first client easier and faster, and I would just be further ahead than I am right now. So obviously we already, in this quite long tutorial, if you made it till this point and you're still watching, huge respect for being able to stick with something such unedited like this video. Genuinely respect, because most of the people's attention span right now is so fucked that, you know, it's an achievement to stick till the end of to the mode of this video. So look, what we already did is we set our hypothesis, right? We already have our V1 version of the automation. You maybe already even learned the AI tools necessary to actually deliver that automation. So right now, what we essentially need to do, because obviously there are actually two paths we can take. So because you probably already realized that from this hypothesis, in order to get that hypothesis, we had to conduct like at least 5 to 10 calls and repeat it, see a recurring pattern on those calls. So there are honestly two ways we can go about right now finding more AI, finding your first AI agency client. The easiest approach is probably going to be to reach out to those people, so the people you've already spoke to, the people you already like had a consultation with, because they already know you, you're familiar with them, they built some, like you've on the consultation process, you have built some sort of a trust. So right now they are more likely to actually give you money and become your clients. So I'm gonna show you the best way to either try to convert those people into clients, or you can or how we can go and get more clients. So obviously we are basing it all on the hypothesis, because this is the core of our approach, and our V1 here, that is the core of our business right now, because obviously that's what the people told us, that they wanted to be pretty much sold, right? Like literally they said, hey, I have this problem, maybe you can solve it, perhaps I'm gonna pay you. So look, the first way I want you to go is just take every single person that you had consulted and reach out to them with a very, very, very simple offer. So what you can do is you can say like, hello, look, I see that you have this problem. I'm just starting out. I'm not an expert. I am starting out, but I have enough skills to build this automation. So what I can offer you is minus 90% discount of the first project that you're going to get done with me for this hypothesis and this thing you told me that you're struggling with. Or you can say like minus 80%. You can go free if you want to build experience first, but I think you can try and take a shot at actually getting paid. So you can, for example, say minus 90% on minus 80% off of the actual investment. So what you can do in order to justify that is you can, for example, take the similar type of project and you can go and research it for your competitors and see, like show your client, let's say that your competitors are charging X amount of money to deliver that automation. And then you can just take this X amount of money, obviously here. So take this X amount of money and just do like 80% off, right? Or like 90% off. So let's say if the automation is gonna cost you, I don't know, let's say we're talking about some basic automation. The automation would, like the competitors would charge $1,000 for that. Then you can offer that automation for, let's say 100, maybe like 150 or 200, and literally show the people that you're consulting, hey, look, like I see that you have some interest, because obviously you've told me that there is a problem. I've researched and I've learned all the tools necessary to build this automation. I see that you're like, I know that you probably want to get it done with somebody who's like very experienced, but I promise you, and here's one important factor as you're trying to convince your clients, you need to deliver such insane level of confidence that you can, and your willingness to work hard for them, that they will just think, all right, like let's just give this young guy or girl a shot, right? So what I mean is literally, if you were to tell your prospect, listen, Mr. Prospect, I know that I don't have any testimonials, I know that we have you've heard that I'm just starting out, but what I did is I have learned all the necessary tools, and you can literally explain that to them, what do you have even learned, because listen, it's just pretty much negotiation and convincing people, just selling and negotiating with people, right? But if you're going to literally be transparent, the number one, be transparent, because the thing is, I can tell you, I've seen a lot of content in the agency space and overall, and people are trying to pretend like they are somebody they are not. And it's actually damaging them. It's backfiring at them, because business owners, and especially those experienced ones, they are really intelligent. Because if you think about it, business is highly intellectual. Like there are a lot of moving parts. You need to understand a lot of things, and as byproduct of that, you're going to be quite well versed in reading people and understanding the world. So business owners are very like, they will just see the bullshit. They will just see through you and through your life. So if you're going to try to claim that you're somebody that you're not, maybe you're convinced some people, but in the long run, you will catch a person that is like just see who you are, and then you'll just end up in a bad position. So just be transparent. So we can literally say to them, "Hey, Mr. Prospect, look, I promise you, because you're my first ever client, you can be the opening door to my business success. you can be the absolute start of my empire, and I will do anything it takes to deliver on this project. I'm gonna go to the other end of the world if necessary. I'm gonna work 24 hours a day if that necessary. I will not sleep. I will learn everything in order to deliver that project for you, because this is my opportunity to start my business and this is my life path. You can, I'm just trying to give you an example of how convincing you can be, and you can also say, but obviously because you're working with somebody who's not that experienced, I would like to give you a huge discount. So I can show you that my competitors are charging, let's say, $1,000. And what I can tell you, Mr. Prospect, is if you just give me the shot, I'm gonna charge you only like $200. If you can then give me a testimonial and just give me a shot on this project, because I'm just starting out, and just go with insane confidence that you can just charge less amount of money, huge confidence that you're just starting out and you're asking them for a shot. And I'm telling you, you are going to be surprised how well is that going to work. And the reason is going to work, I mean, that's just my understanding and that's my hypothesis as to why it's going to work, and based on my experience speaking to business owners, most of the business owners, because business is very painful, there is a lot of stress, there is a lot of chaos, and most of the business owners who were starting out from zero, they had to figure it out all on their own, so they understand how it is to be in your shoes, and very, very, very often they are going to really appreciate that, and they're going to really like you, and fuck knows, who knows? So maybe they're even gonna say, look, I really like your transparency. I'm gonna pay you the full price because I really appreciate your honesty and your transparency and your approach. Because keep in mind, like 1K, 2K, 5K, even 10K to business owners, if depending on the size of their business, it's not really that much to them. So maybe they're even gonna give you a full price. Perhaps people are going to want to invest into you. That happened to me. Like listen, if you are just going to show a real transparent version of yourself, and you're going to show that you're dedicated, you will be surprised how many business owners will actually appreciate that, and how many business owners will really, 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 really like that approach. So this is the first way. You can go to the people you've consulted, offer them with huge confidence, very discounted price, and explain that you're just starting out and you're going to over deliver and just promise, and then you have to keep up the promise, obviously. But we are going to, I'm also going to give you some examples as to how to deliver, and obviously I'm going to give you like practical advice and steps as to how you can deliver that project and not lose that client, because obviously then you have to, like after you actually promise, you have to deliver. So this is our first way to get your first client, which is just to try to convince the people that you consulted that you can build up for them, and it's probably going to give you the most clients, and it's probably the easiest way to actually go about and do it. But the second way is obviously we have our hypothesis. I'm going to write it once again, right? So we have our hypothesis. Wow, this pen is also starting to not cooperate again. So obviously you take your hypothesis, right? And here's the thing. We're going to take a very similar approach with our V1 AI automation like approach. And here's what I would advise you to do. If you can, and if that would be possible for you, because there is a lot of trust issues in the market right now. A lot of agency owners call themselves experts in AI, and then they're calling themselves like, new Facebook founders, and like they're just claiming that they're someone who they are not. And here's the thing, if you can build it, so if you can actually go and build the automation, so you can build that flow and it's actually working, and you can, for example, screenshot the automation and show in the real use case that this automation is working and you have built the system. So what I want you to do is, if you can, build the automation that you're trying to sell after consulting the businesses, and build it, because that's going to give us something tangible for the business owners to see. I can tell you from experience, people either want to see who you have worked with and some proof that you have worked with other companies, or the proof that you actually built what you're claiming that you can build for them, and then they want to see it actually work. So this is probably the best way, the second best way, after actually trying to convince the people you've consulted, because they already know you. But if you are going to reach out to cold prospects that never heard about you, if you can build it and actually showcase it, it's probably going to be the best way to do it. And then you can take the second route, which is just going to be, just transparency, right? So this pen is going to get fired soon. So transparency, right? The reason we want to go with transparency is because, again, in my opinion, business owners will see through the bullshit and they will reward transparency. And also, if you're a transparent person, people are more likely to trust you because they think to themselves, look, if that person is really transparent and he is telling me something that is slightly a disadvantage to him, perhaps he's a very honest person. So is it going to be an advantage? So look, I would strongly encourage you to build it because that's going to give a lot of it's going to give a tangible thing for a prospect to see. So as you're going to be speaking to the prospects, then you are literally going to show them, hey, I have built it. Do you want it? It's going to be that simple. So I'm going to quickly elaborate on those two ways of actually getting clients. But we need to right now take some sort of a way as to how we are going to actually approach the businesses. So here is the best way, in my opinion, is just cold calling, is just reaching out to business owners via phone. It's the most uncomfortable one, but it's the fastest way, is one of the cheapest ways, and you can just you can make a lot of phone calls. And if you call let's say 100 to 200 people or businesses per day, then you are going to be able to probably land, I don't know, 1 to 2 appointments every 1 to 2 days, right? Depending on how good you are at cold calling. And that is going to obviously convert to people on the phone with you asking you about what you're doing, and you will get an opportunity to close them. So here's the thing. No one likes it. It's really bad. Nobody likes to cold call. Nobody likes cold outreach. That's just the name of the game. The price of doing business. You have to do it. You don't have capital to run out. Simple as that. So what I would do is I would strongly encourage this approach because it's going to make it way easier for you to sell, and also it's going to give you a practice, so you will already know how to build it. So 100% I would go for actually prototype building, so you can show something to the prospect. I'm gonna highlight it in red. It's just build it first, and then you're going to reach out to the prospect, and there are a couple of points you want to do. As you're calling them, literally be transparent to them, with them. Try to find their phone numbers, try to find their LinkedIn profiles, and maybe based on that, you can try to find phone numbers. I'm not going to go into entire lead sourcing because there's way too many tutorials, but you can go and figure out on YouTube how you can lead source and call business owners. But what I will just tell you is pretty much call them and be transparent. As you see there, the theme of transparency throughout this tutorial is very big because in my experience, that has worked the best with business owners. And the more transparent you are, the more human to human you become. The more human you become, the better you just, the easier the business just becomes, in my opinion. And you can cut corners, you can try to, manipulate, do some bullshit, but not only you're going to feel bad with yourself, you're also going to, fuck up your reputation, fuck up your business in the long run. So it's not worth it. So here's the thing, and also you're going to make more money in the long term, and not even in the long term, in the short term you can make even more money. So just be transparent and be honest and be a human being. So very, very simple, basic advice. So look, as you're calling them, be transparent and literally say, hello, Mr. Prospect, with full transparency. I'm calling because I have built something in your niche, the type of businesses that you run, for the type of businesses that you run, and this automation, and here, so I'm going to write it. First of all, it's going to be transparency. All right, transparency. Then we are going to, as soon as possible, target pain points, right? So pain points / needs, right? And then we are going to have a CTA, so it's called call to action, and it's going to be non-pressure, right? So here's what we do. First of all, the first point is we call and we are transparent. We say, listen, Mr. Prospect, I will try to pitch you something. If you don't like to be pitched, just hang up the phone. But I'll just try to pitch you full transparency because I respect your time. Then you move to the point number 2, which is going to be target the pain points. So what I mean by this is this automation that you're building is giving some sort of a value by elevating some sort of a pain or giving some sort of value. So instead of yapping about your fucking N8 automation or your Claude Code, operating software, whatever else you're building, or your retail voice agents, it doesn't really matter. Prospect do not care. They couldn't care less. So what you say, same as your prospect, full transparency. If they allow you to pitch, look, for people in your industry, I have built an AI automation that is, and then you just list out pain points. So let's say if the automation is let's say as the example from the beginning of this video with the automation is just pretty much explaining, sorry, not explaining, but it's helping to convert more leads for the real estate agents. You could say, hey, Mr. Realtor, and if he gives you the permission to the pitch, look, for the realtors in your area, I have recently built an AI automation that allows them to convert 15% more leads and is working 24/7, and they can focus on like selling houses and meeting clients, going to viewings, while the automation is automatically following up on the leads and converting them 24/7. And I just wanted to ask you if that would be something of an interest to you. Literally something as simple as that. So focus on pain points, focus on the needs, focus on what the automation is actually doing, and literally then like say, hey, like would that be something of an interest to you by any chance? And probably some of them, probably like 0. This pen is probably going to be removed from my setup very soon. So probably like 0.5% to maybe 1.5% of people that you call will say, yeah, I mean, okay, maybe not out of all the people that you call, probably 0.5 to 1.5% at the beginning, because you don't have much scale, will say, hey, yeah, that actually sounds quite interesting. Tell me more about it. And then literally what you say is you give them a CTA, which is call to action, to book the call with you, and then you explain in a very non-pressure way what you can do. So if they're going to be interested, you can say, hey, listen, Mr. Prospect, I know you probably get pitched sales calls 24/7. However, I would love to hop on a Zoom call with you. I'm just going to show you how the automation works. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you live example of the automation, how it works, and then you're going to let me know your thoughts, and perhaps we're just going to see if that's a fit. And if they're going to say, yeah, why not? Then you can go and just schedule a call with them and then actually show up to that call, be on time, be prepared. And that's how I would book the appointments. So I would honestly even remove this option, probably, now that I think about it. I would probably remove the transparency option. Just literally focus your time on building the automation so you can actually show it, because it's a big advantage if you don't have any testimonials. So just build the automation so you can actually show it to prospects. Yeah, you just reach out and you book calls, and you call every single day, call the businesses, hop on the calls with them, explain very transparently, focus on pain points, what they can get, and position your call as a very, very, very non-pressure, like in a curious way where you can just show them, you're going to show your screen, show the automation. If that's going to be something of an interest to you, you can explain that. And then you can also be, as I said earlier, you can say that you're full transparency, that you're just starting out, and you can offer them like minus 80% of the full price, and you're going to deliver high conviction that you can deliver it, and you're going to go to the other part of the world and to deliver that automation, because they are just your foot in the door in your business career. And then I'm just gonna give you like very, very, very basic like quick advice on how to actually take those calls. Obviously, you could learn the like advanced selling techniques. You could learn how to have the entire sales process, the entire like you could write the entire script. You could learn the entire framework. You could learn how to handle objections, but at this stage we're just trying to get a couple of first clients. So you can learn and go in a very, 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 very in-depth selling, and I may just even post some videos. I mean, I think there are already videos made. I don't remember. I think there are videos on. Yes, there is one video I recorded. What a shame, I don't remember my own content, but there is a video on my YouTube channel explaining how to sell, so you can actually go and watch it. But I'm going to give you like a very, very, very high helicopter view of what we want to do on the call. So if the prospect is going to join the call, the reason they join the call is because you can give them something which they do not yet have. And perhaps it's going to be alleviation of some pain, like solution to some problem, or something that they are striving for. So try to just ask them questions why they are on the call, like, Mr. Prospect, why have you decided to join me? And if they're so going to say, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, you called me and I want to see what's that about, you can ask them like, okay, yeah, I understand, I appreciate your honesty, but you wouldn't join the call if you wouldn't see any sort of value in that call, right? Because you're a busy business owner. So could you please tell me, like, what do you think may be valuable in this call? And just try to dig out the reason they are. So I'm just going to type reason. Literally just literally just ask them the reason they are here, trying to discover why they are here, and then bank that in your brain. And at the end of the call, try to frame your solution as a solution. Try to frame your solution as a way to get what they want. So if you question them properly, like just naturally ask them like, why are you here? What is the reason you booked the call? Try to then, so they are going to, let's say, I'm gonna write this square as their goal, right? Let's say there's going to be some sort of like a goal. I'm gonna type a smiley face, because let's say they want something positive from this call. They want to solve some problem, get something, or whatever the reason is. What you want to do is position your AI, like explain to them, hey, Mr. Prospect, so you cannot really get there by yourself because you're speaking to me, right? And then you can literally position your AI as a vehicle to get there. So you can say, hey, so if you're struggling with this and you're interested in that, I built the automation and it can actually help you get there. So would you want to try it? Like, and then you can, like, as you're positioning your AI as a way to get what they want by questioning why they are here, they're gonna give you the reason, and then you have to just explain that your AI is a way to get there. Like you want to just explain to them, hey, so you struggle, you cannot make it on your own. Like there are so many tutorials in sales. I'm gonna probably record another one in the future, but this video is already too long, so I'm gonna dedicate another tutorial on how to actually do it. But pretty much just try to see the reason they are here, why they cannot do it themselves, and then position your AI as a way to get there. And try to not be scared to ask some questions, because what's the worst that can happen? You're going to have some disagreement with the prospect and whatever else. You can just get another prospect on the call anyway. So just do it. And a couple of things, you can be transparent, as I already said, offer like a very big discount and explain that this discount is just because you're starting out. And then you also need to be give a lot of conviction, right? So you can say like, hey, Mr. Prospect, I understand that you may not trust me and you see that I give a very cheap price, but the reason I did it is because I'm just starting out and this is a foot in the door for my business, and as I said, I'll go for on the other end of the planet if that's necessarily. I'm gonna work 24/7. I'm gonna work fucking day and night for this project because this is my foot in the door and I need to make this work. So if you would like to give me an opportunity at 80% discount and you can show your competitor's price like that, yeah, that you're actually charging them 20% of what they would usually pay to give me a shot. Here's the automation already built, so it's already working. I just need an opportunity, and you're going to do it over and over again. Sooner or later, probably it's going to take a couple of weeks, depending on how much volume you do, and somebody will give you a shot, and you will sign that client. People will say, all right, fuck it, let's go. Obviously, business owners are slightly more sophisticated in their speech than I am right now talking to you, but obviously I treat you guys like my mates, so I'm not, too serious here. I'm not gonna talk in a very, professional slash formal manner. However, you will probably sooner or later get money. Like you will sooner or later get what you're striving for, and the reason you're watching this tutorial, which is just money. And then after you do that, you have to actually deliver. And this is where we are going to move to the other part, like the last part of the tutorial, which is how to actually deliver. So how you can actually go and I don't know why I typed for it, how to actually deliver. So after you sign the first client and they are going to pay you however much you asked for, maybe that's going to be 200, maybe that's going to be $500, because, or maybe even like a 1K if you're building something bigger, you will get the money and people will say, all right, fuck it, let's go. And now you have to deliver. And this is why we're going to move to the last part of the tutorial, which is how to deliver. I'm also going to give you like a helicopter view and some like pieces of advice and like a strategy and a way of thinking as to how to actually do it. The reason I don't give a very, 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 very specific advice on every single one of those parts of the video is because this tutorial will be like 12 hours and no one would watch it. Perhaps I'm wrong, and perhaps I need to record those longer tutorials, but if you think that is the case, you can just drop a comment. But that's how you find your first client. You either convert the people from your consultancies or you reach out cold, you show that you actually build it, you're transparent, you offer a huge discount saying that, explaining why you're that. So we maximize the likelihood of somebody actually paying you, because obviously if you're going to ask for the full price, people are less likely to give you that shot if you make them feel safe and say to them like, look, the worst case you lose 20% of what you would usually pay, and you give an opportunity to a young hustler or a young entrepreneur. So people will also, actually, that's another point. You can try to make people feel great for helping you. That's an also slightly manipulative tactic of just trying well, I mean, it's not manipulative. It's just honest that you can help out a young entrepreneur, young cat that is just trying to make it, and frame it also as that, because as I said, business owners, they went through your phase, so they're very likely to help you. So look, and also you may be even surprised how likely it is that you will even get somebody who will want to like invest in you, somebody who will want to mentor you for free. Like, listen, business owners are very often lonely people because very like small percentage of like society and everyone around us is actually running some sort of their like own business, own enterprise, and actually, I mean, enterprise, own company. So people feel very often, I mean, I have seen it with business owners, very often they feel lonely. So when they will see somebody who went through what they went through, and which is pretty much hell, they're very likely to give them the handout and help them and mentor them and give them money, if maybe even invest, because they know how bad it is, how hard it is. So they will be like, oh shit, I can see myself in this guy from 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and goddamn, this guy needs a handout. Maybe I'm gonna help him. So that can happen. That can happen. So yeah, this is why it will also allow you to make more mistakes. So this is part 4 of this guide, and right now we're going to move to the last and most important part, which is how to actually deliver. Because another important thing is that your clients, which are going to be your businesses or your customers, are the most important thing part of your entire business. Your 100% of your business is based on your clients. 100% of your money is coming from your clients, unless you're doing some Aikido financially, but I think then you would have to be on some big enterprise level, and none of those type of people watch this type of content. But if you're in the same boat and you're just selling AI to businesses, then the most important thing in your business is your clients and your reputation. So this way I'm going to try to give you all the things that I have learned and things I have fucked up, so you can avoid them, and how you can actually deliver to your clients and hopefully make them happy. Because if you have a bunch of happy clients that like you, oh my God, this is going to be wonderful for you. So that's the most important thing. So right now, let's move to the last part, which is how to deliver all to your first clients. All right, so right now the last part of the tutorial, which is arguably one of the most important, if not the most important part of the tutorial, which is going to be how you can actually deliver to your client. So you have already discovered throughout the tutorial what to sell, who to sell, how to think, what to think about, and like how to not get distracted in unnecessary things. So right now, the most important thing, because remember, 100%, I'm going to type it, 100% of your revenue in the business is going to come from your customers. So those are the people you need to care the most about. You need to really deliver to them, and you need to make them very happy, because not only you're going to build a very good reputation, and with that good reputation is going to come a lot of opportunities and a lot of like way more revenue long term, because you will build one of the arguably the most important things in business, which is just trust. Because think about it, if you have a loyal client database, let's say you've been really delivering to your clients and they're really happy with you, you can just launch a product, and probably a lot of them are going to trust you if you provide a great value. Like if you've been building trust and reputation in a brand, you can literally just create a product like that and make more money, because people trust you and they know you will deliver. So they will be happily buying for you, which is trust is very important. This is why over delivering, making your clients happy is very, very crucial. And I have notes prepared for you with all the most important things that I need to tell you, all the things I have fucked up as I was working with my clients, how you can actually make your clients more happy, and what are some mistakes that I wish I could avoid it when I was just delivering to my first clients. So let's just start right now. So obviously, let's move to the part number 5. So how to actually deliver to your first clients. So first of all, let's get straight to the point. What you need, if you have signed your client, let's say they paid you, I don't know, let's say they paid you that $500 for some sort of AI follow-up system, as we were sticking through this. Let's stick with the example I've been giving for this entire tutorial, which is the follow-up structure for real estate agents. Let's say they paid you $500 for that, and right now you're happy because you got your first client, you're making money online right now, and you're just, running a business, so you're happy. Now, this is where the real test starts, because you actually have to deliver right now. So, first of all, after that is done and you have confirmed the invoice, what you need to do is start with a plan, right? So you need to properly plan out what you are going to do, and you need a proper plan and a roadmap as to what's going to happen, and you need to execute this plan very strategically and really, really follow and stick through with this plan. Because if you set up a well plan for a delivery to that project, and then you actually stick through that plan by following the principles in this video, you are way more likely to keep the money. Because keep in mind, if you fuck up the project, people will say, hey, give me this money back because you didn't deliver and I want to, money back. So if you don't want to refund people, you need to make them happy. And in order to make them happy, you need to deliver. And in order to deliver, you need a proper plan and a proper plan of execution. So this is what we are going to start. So obviously you need to plan out the project. First of all, there are 3 most important categories. First of all is going to be onboarding, right? So we have onboarding, which is number 1. Right? Then you're going to have actual development. So I'm just going to write dev. And then you're going to have actual delivery. So I'm going to write delivery, right? So you need delivery, development, and onboarding. Arguably, onboarding is very important for the client relationship. Development is just where you actually deliver, and delivery development is actually where you build the automation, and delivery is where you actually go about and place it in the business. So clients will not, like your clients will not see development part. So the development part, it doesn't really matter for them. What matters to them is how you onboard them and how you actually deliver the automation. This is where you can actually make the client happy, because here you can make client happy and you can set up a great reputation, and here you need to actually make this work. I'm gonna write work. So here you actually make this work, and here you make customers happy and, like, properly have a great client experience. So right now, let me start with the onboarding. So let me give you some advice on how to set up a plan. Just following what I'm showing you right now, you need to list out everything that you need to do, and you need to write down a linear step of actions. So this plan needs to become like a checklist where you will see all the important things that you need to get done in a linear manner that you will just follow and execute through, so you know what's going on. It's properly planned out and you're executing, and you're not living in a chaos, right? I mean, you will live in the chaos anyway, but at least you will have some structure to the chaos. So plan is the most important thing. You need to plan out how you're going to, first of all, onboard the client, then how you're actually going to deliver to that client, and then how how you're going to actually develop the automation, and then how you're actually going to deliver that automation to the client. So place it in a business so it's actually becoming a like functioning part of the business. And you need to plan out every single stage out of those three stages, which is onboarding, development, and delivery. So you need to plan it out, just create a checklist. And here, what I can tell you is you can just simply go and you can use, I'm going to draw this beautiful emoji, logo right now. What you do is you simply go to Claude and you explain to Claude, hey, I'm delivering this project, as we did previously, explain everything, and you can literally ask him, hey, please help me plan out my onboarding, development, and delivery, write out the entire SOP and create me a PDF document, and Claude can help you set up a document where you will have everything that you need to actually execute upon in your in the project. So right now, as you know, you have already worked on a plan. This can be like a Google document checklist with everything that you need to get done throughout those three stages. And right now I'm going to give you, I have a lot of points to cover on each one of those three things. And I'm going to give you things that you need to do, you need to look out for, and that you need to be careful. I'm going to actually keep the smiley things. Why not? So I'm going to right now give you most important things for one of those three stages. For each one of those three stages, what to do, what to avoid, and what to, definitely do and not do. So let's start with the onboarding. So first of all, arguably the most important, I think for the client relationship and the client and the entire client perspective of your service and the experience, arguably is expectations. Okay. Your client's expectations are going to dictate if they are going to perceive you as professional, great provider that they'll refer, or if they will think you're a scammer and will want to refund, right? Because if you, okay, so it is a very like easy graph to understand. I'm gonna type E for expectations and D for actual delivery. So what you deliver and what people expect. If let's say I'm gonna write like a box here. If let's say the client's expectations are going to be on this level, right? And you will deliver on this level, which means that you're over delivering, that will lead to a happy customer. But if you're going to actually do the opposite, and you're going to set your expectations just up here, and then you're actually going to deliver down here, and you're going to not deliver, or you're going to under deliver, that is going to cause either sad customers, and probably not sad, but maybe angry customers, which you don't really want, and that will those are the type of people that are requesting refunds and are making you lose money. Those are the people who are writing reviews, like the bad, negative reviews and everything. So arguably one of the biggest mistakes you can make is overpromise and not deliver. And the most tactical advantages you can take in delivering to your customers is like over deliver. So just set expectations and over deliver, and not over promise and under deliver. So or under promise and over deliver. This is the most important thing. So how to actually do it? One of the most important things is that as you're setting expectations, you're setting expectations to something, right? So either to the quality, either to the like how much time it's going to take you. There are a lot of expectations you need to set, but the most important expectation is probably going to be just process, right? Oh, process. This pen is annoying me. Process, time, and the actual quality, right? So those are the most important categories, which is process, time, and quality. What I mean by process, you need to clearly set the expectations as to what the process is going to look like. How much you're going to need their involvement. What are your needs for? What do you expect from them? What do you need from them? Like the entire process, you need to set a very clear expectations as to what those people will need to expect from you and how the process is going to look. And right now, here, what for those all three of those categories, what you need to do is create a buffer, right? So what I mean by buffer is that if let's say I'm going to give you a time example. If let's say you know that you need let's say 14 days to actually deliver the automation, like that's what you're forecasting that you need 14 days. Say that you need 30 days, right? Because what I can tell you, it is highly unlikely that you're actually going to, like your prediction and your forecasting is actually going to reflect reality. There are a lot of things that are going to go wrong. There are a lot of like mistakes you're going to make. There are a lot of errors. Things aren't going to go as planned. So it is absolutely crucial for you to set up a buffer at least 2x the time or 3x the time that you actually need to deliver it. And the reason I would advise you to do that is because if you say it's going to take you 14 days and then it's going to take you like 20 days, you actually just fucked it up. So I'm gonna pause because somebody's calling me. All right, that was an unexpected call that I've received. So as you see, very high quality production quality, very high quality production quality. Yeah, very high production quality that you can expect from this channel. Very chill content. But the point is, if you are going to say that it's going to take you 14 days and then you're actually going to it's going to take you in reality 20 days, you are massively damaging the perception of the client. So the whole point of is of expectations is that if you expect something, create a lot of buffer and safety buffers so you can actually properly deliver. And even if it's going to take you, let's say, those 14 days, this pen is flying out of the window probably by the end of this video. It's going to take you even 14 days and you are actually like done, you have delivered a project, then you can take the other 14 days to even make it better or test it. Or what you can do is you can, for example, just say to the client, hey, I really care about our relationship, so I worked extremely hard to actually deliver before the expected deadline. So here's the ready automation on before time for you because I really care about our relationship. You can frame it like that. So set buffers for either time, either for your process. So if you, let's say, need, I don't know, 3 hours a week of their time, say that you need like 6, right? Just create safety buffer for in terms of time, in terms of quality, in terms of the process. So what I mean by quality, so I just explained process is, let's say in your process you need to work with them for 3 hours a week, say that you need 6. Or like, okay, maybe with the time that you need from them is slightly a bit of an exaggeration because then they're gonna block out 6 hours instead of 3, and they're gonna lose 3 hours a week. So here you need to be careful, but just the whole point is that you just need to pretty much create a buffer so it's safe to make mistakes and you have an environment where you can actually build the product and deliver the automation properly instead of just because I can tell you the worst thing that can happen to you is where you say, yes, Mr. Prospect, I'm the best in the industry, I'm gonna deliver to you in 2 weeks, and I've done it 10,000 times. Not that I went to that extreme, but I've made a mistake where I gave myself a very, very tight deadline. And what I can tell you, it is just not worth it because your client is gonna be like expecting the results sooner than you can deliver them. You're going to have to push on to meet the deadline. You're gonna deliver a lower quality product. It's just not worth it. Give yourself buffer, especially on time, so you have enough time to deliver it, and also on quality, time and quality. Maybe the process. Okay, so the process, I would say yes, create a buffer, but it's more about transparency, right? Parent. Right. I cannot properly write transparent. What a shame that is, right? Or and so with the process, just be transparent what you need from them. Plus, let's say I would plus like maybe 20% buffer to what you actually need depending on the process. But it is heavily important for you to set up very like give yourself safety buffer for time and quality. So if let's say you're aiming for the KPI of I don't know 30% conversion rate. Like let's say this is because you're building the lead convert like a voice agent that is converting and following up the leads, and you are like with let's say 80% accuracy sure that you can deliver on that 30% KPI. Create yourself a buffer and say that you're going to deliver on 20% KPI. Because then if you actually over deliver, you're going to make clients even more happy. But if you struggle to deliver and you will not be able to deliver that because it is very unlikely that things are going to turn out as you planned them, then you have some buffer of safety and you're not going to destroy the relationship with your clients. So this is arguably one of the most important things on the onboarding. Set very, very realistic with a lot of safety buffer expectations for process, time, and also for the quality of the product and what you can actually deliver, and give yourself safety buffers. So if you think you can deliver, like let's say you can deliver 10 units of value, give yourself like tell that you're going to deliver 7 units of value. If you can, if you, I'm just creating some abstract ideas to make the point, right? But just give yourself safety buffer. Another thing which is very important, besides expectations on the onboarding, is that you need to get everything. So I'm going to write everything. Okay. So what I mean by everything is on the onboarding call, as you're setting up the plan with Claude, take everything. Take all the keys for APIs if you need them. Take all the account logins, right? Logins. I cannot spell letters. What a shame that is. Logins, right? Take all the account logins. What else can you need? Like oh, for example, you may need some money. Like let's say you need them to give you some money to do something. So just collect everything up front so you don't bother them later and you work way more efficiently. But I can tell you from experience, if you don't take everything up front, everything that you need, and then you remind yourself, oh shit, I actually need an API key to their I don't know, maybe what are you building? Let's say you need API key to their Zapier card because they are already doing something there and you need to connect there and you don't have it. What I can tell you is business owners are fucking busy and it's very unlikely they're going to give you it like that. Perhaps you're going to wait 1 to 2 days, and keep in mind you set a deadline. So if you set your deadline for 2 weeks, and then you're not going to take everything up front, and day 7 you're going to remind yourself, oh shit, I actually need an API key, and you're going to message a busy business owner. He may take 3 days to respond and you just lost 3 days. So it is absolutely crucial to set expectation on onboarding and take everything on the onboarding. All the API keys, all the account logins, all the founds if you need them, everything that you need to have from the client, and to actually deliver a project you need to take on the onboarding, because you're going to save yourself a lot of issues and a lot of problems. So just take everything upfront on the onboarding, and honestly, that is it. Those are the 2 most important things. Yeah, like I could go over some, find like very interesting methods to frame the calls and everything, smile and the entire framework of how to speak to prospect, but it's very unimportant compared to those 2. This is like pretty much the 80/20 of like AI on project onboarding, which is just set expectations with a buffer and make it realistic that you can actually meet and over deliver, even aim for over delivering, and take everything up front. This is it for the onboarding. Those are the 80/20 most important things to take on the onboarding. Now, as you're developing, here again, because I want to make it like very neutral and I want a lot of people to benefit from this video, I cannot give you specific advice because the development of AI voice agent projects is going to be different than development of like an AI powered financial statements infrastructure for accounting firms. Completely different things. However, there are some set of principles that I'm gonna share with you like here, and that would help you and also from the mistakes that I've made. One thing that is heavily important as we're developing the project is one word, which is test. And I'm going to write like a lib here, because what you need to do as you're developing is test as much as you can. Do not only just build the infrastructure, but actively, as soon as you can, wherever you can, test. And then from that test take feedback, right? So as you're developing any sort of project, do as much of testing as possible, right? It is the most like just like expectations are the crucial part of onboarding, testing is the most important part of development because if you build an entire project without testing it, what are you doing? Don't do it. Like I've seen people building the project and delivering it to their client without running a single test, and I'm like, man, what the fuck are you doing? Please stop. It makes me. It's gonna be. I'm gonna. I'm the type of person that would, stare at a wall and stare at my ceiling at night, thinking, how can people do it? I need to prevent humanity from not testing AI projects before delivering them. But there are people actually that do it, so please do not do it. Testing and feedback as soon as possible, and then actually improve based on that feedback. Solve as many mistakes that you can take in the process and then test as many again. So if you're running an AI voice agent, test it as many times, take feedback, improve it, and test again as many times as possible as you're developing the project, following the plan. So if you know you need to develop the project and Claude has written you the entire plan of development, test every single part so it actually works well, right? And as you're developing, just this is the most important thing as you're developing. Test as much, take as much feedback, and improve as quickly as possible. And also, another thing to do is just focus on speed because you can really like sink into this like never-ending abyss of like working, improving, testing, but try to as quickly as possible test, take feedback, improve, and when once the version of what you're testing is enough or is good enough, move further because it can really take a lot of time if you're messing around with everything, improving everything. You don't have to be perfect, you need to act quickly. If it is good enough, you need to move further because you have a deadline to meet. And yeah, this is just pretty much the most important, one very important thing. Just speed and make it enough, right? Because perfecting everything is not as important as having good enough thing that is actually going to work and delivering the project in time. So move quickly, make a lot of tests, take feedback, everything, and improve everything. Also, map out the process. Okay, so map the this pen is going to become a meme in the comments, I can assume. Map the process. Okay. So what I'm gonna write the diagrams of like a system mapping, but what you need to do is just map out the entire process of the what you're building so you can visually see it and literally it can be a part of your plan, but literally just map out the entire process. Yeah, it's gonna become a meme in the comments 100%. So map out the entire process, and as you have the map out process, test every single part of it, take feedback, improve as quick as possible, and quickly power through the entire project and try to deliver it as soon as possible with good enough quality so it's gonna actually work. And as you're also developing, like I would say 2.1 is the communication with the client. This is important because as you're developing, there is a high chance that you will need to communicate something to your client. You will need to reach out to your client. So there are a couple of points I wanted to give you on actually just like communicating with your clients. So first of all, be straight to the point. Okay. So what you need to do is do not, just talk. Listen, if you get an appointment with your prospect, with your client, or you're messaging them, get straight to the point. Don't talk to them about how they are doing. Don't talk to. I mean, you can ask them, but the thing is, just try to be as efficient as possible in communicating with them. As little words as possible. As straight to the point as possible. If you need, let's say, hey, there is not enough budget on our OpenAI developer platform, and we need more budget to run the tests. Here's the amount of money we need. Please fill it out. We need to process it. Like we need we need more funds on the OpenAI developer platform because we need to test more via the API we're using on your account, right? So it's like that, very straight to the point. This is a very crucial thing, and also. I mean, this is tying back to the onboarding, but also the expectations here are very, very clear. Be very straight to the point and set expectations. Let's say you're developing the project and you know for a fact that pretty much you will not be able to. Okay, so I would say here just be transparent, probably, right? So if you know that, let's say there is something going wrong and you know it's going to take 1 week more than you expected, be honest, be straight to the point, and be transparent, be honest, even if that means upsetting your client slightly. Because let me tell you something, it is way better to slightly upset your client with the truth than to lie to them, and then when they find out, they're gonna be fucking pissed at you. Because your clients, even though they may be slightly pissed, they really like honesty and they really like to know what's going on instead of you telling them, yeah, everything is going to be amazing, everything is going to be amazing, we're going to be on time, and then you don't deliver on time, and then the client is like, where is the project? And you're like, oh, it's actually going to take 1 more week. That's damaging. But if you're going to say, hey, Mr. Prospect, listen, there's X, Y, and Z issues. Give the reason. This is what we were going to do, but it's going to take this amount of time. We know what to do. We just need more time. Be transparent and straight to the point with your prospect and communicating. Do not lie to them. Do not try to manipulate them. Be straight to the point, transparent as you're communicating with them. This is heavily, heavily important. Another thing is time. Try to take as little of their time as possible. Try to think of your own as much as possible. Try to be as creative as possible. Like, look, if you have a basic understanding, like, look, if you have a very easy question that could be answered by Claude by 10 minutes Google research or whatever else, try to take as little time of your client as possible. Try to take as little time of your client's time as possible. So if you have some very basic question, try to look it up yourself first. Try to ask Claude for it. Try to do some research. Try to watch some YouTube videos. Do not take your client's time if you don't have it, if you don't need to actually take it, because people are, especially if you're B2B, those people are busy, those people are stressed, and the last thing they want is for you to ask them some basic questions that if they read, they're going to think to themselves, listen, he could have just literally went on YouTube and fucking find the answer in 5 minutes. Try to not ask stupid questions and always try to figure out things in a row. And if you actually need their time and you need to ask them for about something, then actually reach out to them because obviously they are very, very busy people. And then another thing is show positive progress, right? So clients like to be reassured that if they send you money, something is actually happening. So the thing is, if you are delivering on a project and you're building AI voice agents, and let's say you still need to connect all the APIs, build the entire, like connect all the softwares, build the proper follow-up structure, and build the entire flow so that everything is like running smoothly. But if you already built the AI agent itself, so it sounds great and the conversation flow is, let's say, operating properly, show it to the client. As soon as you have something that you're proud of and that is actually working, send it to the client. And also, be straight to the point and take as little of their time as possible. Do not send them the fucking article, like 10,000 words on what you're doing. Literally, if you're, let's say, sticking with an example, if you're developing the follow-up infrastructure for real estate agents and you have like iterated your AI voice agent so it sounds very well, just send a 20-second clip to your client and say, hey, we're working very hard on projects. Here's a progress. Here's a break we literally had recently. And you can, for example, compare. Here's how we started on V1. Here's the current version. Here's the progress we've made. We're working hard on a project. Looking forward to update you further, right? Like, give positive progress and milestones so your clients actually will see, oh great, they're actually doing something. I didn't just throw my money into the abyss and without the abyss sending anything back to me. Show positive progress, and honestly, and make sure that that's happening quickly. So I think for the development, process mapping, speed, not trying to be perfect, just building a good enough product, testing, taking feedback, and improving as soon as possible. And that communication with client is probably everything that you need to know in order to like. Oh, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of technicalities. Everything. Right? Like there are tons of other things I could tell you in the development process. But as I said, it really depends on the specific project that you're developing, and I want to help as many people as possible with this content. So by just giving general principles, I can help way more people. So you can take those because they are universal principles. Now, when it comes to delivery, which is the last part, honestly, there is not much thing. Like most of the work is done here. Like if you properly onboard a client and you communicate with the client properly and you work properly, delivery is the easy part. So here, what you need to do, just a couple of things. First of all, provide clear SOPs for the team if you're onboarding the slash instructions, right? So what I mean by this is that if you are delivering, let's say, an automation and a workflow and you place it in the business, make sure that it's very simply explained, very clearly explained in standard operating procedures. If you need your client's team to do something with your automation, list it down step by step, like very simple linear project. Listen, make your SOPs and instructions on how to use the like operating procedures and instructions on how to use the automations in a literally a linear process, step by step, and make them so easy to understand and so like basic that even the 5-year-old could understand. Okay, 5-year-old probably not, but like even like a 14-year-old could understand them. Or 14-year-olds are actually cooking these days, so perhaps if there are older people that probably didn't understand what cooking means, but cooking for my older young audience means just like doing something productive and like actually doing some proper work. So depending on how old my audience is, but look, make the SOPs and instructions as you're like as you place your automation in the business, and there are certain things that you need to explain to the client, and there are certain things that you need to explain to them how to use the automation without sounding arrogant or without being rude. Because that's gonna sound a bit mean. But look, expect your client's team and your client to be a complete idiot. They are not idiots. Your client and your client's team is probably very competent, very intelligent people. But if you're going to make the SOPs and the instructions like they were idiots, you are going to give the SOP that they are going to smoothly follow. Even because look, even intelligent people, if they are given a lot of like jargon and a lot of unclear instructions, they'll they'll need to put more effort and more just thought into what they are actually like doing. So the less friction, the simpler it is, the more easy it is, the more step by step it is, the better, because you'll not eat up their energy for them to figure out. So make it as simple as possible so any idiot could understand it. And then when you actually give if you give an SOP that is created with an idiot in mind, so if you create an SOP that is so easy that like a 80 IQ idiot could follow them, then if an actually competent individual is going to take it, they are going to just like that, just pretty much quickly go through it, just boom, everything is going to be done, and it's going to make their life easier. And we serve our clients, so we want to make their life as easy as possible. So yeah, just clear instructions, clear training. If you need, also what I would also advise you to do is if you want, provide some videos and just providing a better service to your clients. But that's it. Just expect everyone on your client's team to be absolute idiots. Make it so simple that any idiot can understand it. And then when you actually give it to your team, your client and their team, they're probably very intelligent people, so it's going to make their life even easier. So that's how we actually deliver on the project. Those are some main principles to keep in mind as you're developing AI project. So yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all the things I have learned, and I mean, not all the things, but most important things that I think every single person that wants to start and scale and sell AI agents needs to keep in mind as they're developing the AI project. Very crucial things to understand, as I just told you. So hopefully people will benefit from this tutorial. And what a long video was that. I don't know how exactly long this tutorial is going to be, because I was recording it across 5 days. So I don't know what's the actual length of the video that we just we will have, but that's it. We have covered the entirety of this guide. So right now you have, in my opinion, all the information required to sell, build, and AI agents, and also to just go and actually, yeah, make some money with AI, in my opinion. I mean, that's what I did too, just as I make first couple of clients make my first revenue in the agency. So hopefully this is going to help you. Hopefully it's going to provide some value to the people that want to sell AI. You can just subscribe if you want, because I'm going to be sharing more content like this on the channel. So if you want to, if you're an AI developer, AI agency owner, and you want to make money with AI, just subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be posting way more things like that. If you have any ideas, any inspirations, drop it in comments. I'm more than happy to hear about feedback and then actually provide just what you want to see. Like if you have any, advice, if you have any feedback, if you have anything you would want me to create on the channel, then just drop it in the comments and we can create it together, so it provides more value to the market. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna create any specific outro. I gave you a CTA to subscribe, right? I'm doing my business here. I'm just growing the channel. So I did the intro, I did the value, and I did the CTA. So I think the entire playbook of a content creator has been delivered in this video. So yeah, I genuinely hope that this guide is gonna help you, but it took me some time to record it, to think through it, and yeah, hopefully it's gonna just help you, and hopefully it's gonna spread some goodwill to the market. So yeah, hopefully this guide helps you. Hopefully you're gonna apply the knowledge. And if you have watched till the end of this video, take action on it. Because if you were watching through this entire video, I don't know, why, what, 3 to 5% of people actually finished till this moment, go and actually apply the knowledge. Go and actually take some action, because unless you do it, you just you eventually just you essentially were just mentally masturbating through the entire video if you don't take any actions, because education is just changed in behavior. So go and actually take some action on it. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Take care.